freak out. But dense tissue, that's another thing. You come on your cycle, and normally, your breast is a part of your reproductive system. So you come on your cycle, and you go through all of that, and normally, they would go on back to normal or whatever. That's why it's important to know your dress. But if for some reason, and that's what happened to me, the dense tissue, I had so much of it, to when I had mammograms, all they seen was dark spots, dense tissue that was no good, this tissue that needed to come out of my body. Right. And they did MRI, same thing. All they seen this dense tissue that needed to come out of me because it didn't do me. It was no use for it anymore. It didn't need to just sit there. So they are concerned now about the dense tissue in a woman's body. So that's important too. Very important. So if you know that you have that problem, make sure you discuss it with your gynecologist, your OBGYN, and normally now, from what I have experienced and other women, they don't just ignore that conversation anymore. They will promptly get you checked. And because, like I said, of my past and with my sisters, that's why it's so important, again, to know your breast and breast health. Breast health. I have some information here that, on the posters that you guys can read. 13 ways to reduce your risk of breast cancer, along with knowing your breast and your body. And I also have some treats here, and I have some information if you'd like to pick up some of the pamphlets, and you're most definitely welcome to take it with you. I really don't have any more to say other than, bluntly, just take care of yourself. Your breast health is very important. And if any of you have, any concerns or would like to share anything or whatever, you are welcome to. I know that Prophetess here, she has experienced, she has 5 sisters, had 5 sisters. She has her and another sister now, right? Mm-hmm. 2 of her sisters had breast cancer. Mm-hmm. I learned that over the Sakota and just, talking and mingling. And then her other sister had
throat cancer, yes.
Yes, okay. So, and we know, and I know she knows, that whenever, the patient is going through that, your loved one, family goes through it too.
And my niece did the same thing as you did. My older sister.
Yeah, that's right. She told me that she got preventative measures. She just,
opted out to have
them removed, just as I did, and then just go through the reconstructive surgery. And I at first I just didn't know how that was going to work out, because I woke up, I ain't had any rest. I'm like, wait a minute, I come in here. And now I wake up and I look down and they're gone.
Right.
And it took me through a lot of changes. But then whenever I had a chance to go to the plastic surgeon. They put an expander up under my chest wall, and they had to push my chest wall out. Mm-hmm. So I had to go to the plastic surgeon every 2 weeks after I healed from the first surgery to get that done. And he would put saline in me. And that was the hurtful thing. Oh. They were pushing my chest wall out. But they put the saline and made my, with the start of the reconstruction, made my pockets. And I did that for about 4 months. And then after that, I had to heal from that. And then that's whenever we went on to finish the process. Mm-hmm. And needless to say, I'm back to me again. Mm-hmm. So, and I don't have to worry about the breast tissue.
Right.
Yeah. So, But anyway, I just want to check if you didn't mind. What did you have to say?
I just wanted to ask a question. So, keeping up with breast cancer and breast health. So when I was coming up, and Prophetess Deborah knows, CC knows, women our age, it wasn't a thing back then because that was a disease for white women. And then it was like boom, switched over. Not only because, well, I think that there's a whole lot that goes into that. But a lot of times, Black women didn't have the insurance or to be able to go to the doctor and say, I feel something's going on, blah, blah, blah. Didn't have the knowledge of breast cancer and breast health wasn't out there during that time. But what I want to ask is how do women who are no longer mincing, how do we expand our breast health awareness of ourselves, because now we're not mincing anymore. We don't have an administration. So that was a helpful in that area.
Because, a lot of women.
You still have to, it's not like, I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead.
Yeah,
That's also something that some women think that because after a certain age, you don't have to,
Do
get
that.
the thing, what is it that we go for,
The
not
mammogram.
I'm talking about
Right.
the other thing, when you go pap smear, because you stop with pap smear after a certain age. You no longer
And if you
to.
have a hysterectomy.
And yes, or if you have a hysterectomy. But with breasts, that's almost for the rest of your life.
That's right.
That doesn't end. You can still get it, even though you're past
Right, but I guess what I'm talking about is at home. How do you continue to, right? Because now you're not mincing. So that was a major thing that you would,
Still do the same
right,
you
thing.
still do the same, but you don't have to worry about after because you don't. So you should just continue to check it.
Just continue.
Yeah.
Continue to check it.
Check it.
And as a matter of fact, check it even
More
Mhm.
often. Exactly.
Yeah, I think that's what people need to hear.
Yeah.
Because
Check it.
there's
Right.
a lot of things in our mind that we don't have to do anymore.
Yes.
Because now I'm,
That's true.
postmenopausal and I don't have to,
Yeah, no. Actually, from what I've learned, and I've been, told that when you have your menstrual,
Yeah.
then you need
Have
to
be more careful.
definitely more
Careful. Exactly.
Because that's why they wouldn't look at a certain age group and going from this 45 or 50 or whatever, because they brought it down. But 45 or 50 years old, whatever it was, to even recommend that a woman have the mammogram or whatever it is she needs to take care of herself medically. Now, if you have a history of breast cancer in your family, I know this for a fact because my niece just came to me last month whenever I briefly talked to women, they just come through a line. And she came through the line and she said, well, I'm 27 years old. She said, but I have a concern. But my doctor told me that because I'm 27, that I don't have anything to worry about.
Oh, Lord, Father,
And I got exposed.
Father, right.
I told her, I said, you tell that doctor.
Right, get another doctor.
Okay, that's right. You tell that doctor about your
Family history.
breast, cancer in your family history.
You have to tell
You also tell that doctor that this is a skipped generation. Okay, so we gotta be careful with that too. Because like you were saying, Max, a long time ago, women didn't have the resources that they needed, didn't even know what it was.
That's right.
But when my dad's sisters and his aunts passed away, they found at the end near.
That's what it was.
That's what it was. They weren't
Now, you
pinpointing
gonna
it.
find it at the end,
Yeah, right,
you know,
That's right.
right.
You're right.
so
Right.
I remember that, and I remember my mom and dad talking about it. And then, it's like, just a couple, no, one of my dad's sisters, but his, like I said, his aunts, then here we come along. My sisters, my dad's kids, and all three of his daughters. That sort of makes you, you know.
Yeah.
And then, thank the Most High, my nieces, they've been good. And I'm hoping and praying that
That they
they're
stay good. Yeah, yeah.
taking their breaks. You
Hallelujah.
know,
Hallelujah.
every month.
Hallelujah.
Every month. And even when you feel like, I just want to feel them, you know, and check them or whatever.
Right.
Yours,
Right.
they're
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Sitting down and you just say, wait a minute, I'm going to.
Yeah, let me
And
check.
then the
Good checking.
process of checking, because you should be in a certain position to
That's
know,
right. That's
so
right.
you can move certain
I think we
tissues
have
out of
right.
the
our
way.
bodies anyway.
That's right. And in the shower, the reason why they tell you to do it in the shower is because your body is wet.
Yeah.
And your hands are slippery and they're easy to maneuver.
Right.
So, in the shower is, or either laying down, and
Or
like
laying down.
Prophet said, you know, certain ways.
Right.
Suggested.
Yeah. And no, just also when you were saying about your niece, because my oldest sister, I was in my early 20s, and we were advised to get it yearly. And I think I started getting tested from the age of 24.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because of your family history. And see if you don't open up and let them know, they don't know. And so I told her, you talk to your doctor about it. And she calls me on the phone, she says, guess what? I'm getting ready to get married. I said, well, what was your problem? Oh, yeah, because she said, well, I just told you there was something. I didn't tell him about how it was. So I told her, I said, you tell your doctor about our family history. And I knew for a fact that they were going to send that order that was medically necessary so the insurance would pay that mammogram. And like I said, women that, you know, the organizations now that people are donating, you know, money to, funds to for breast cancer awareness, a lot of those funds, along with going to Cancer Society, is going towards, especially, I have a blanket here. Talk about all the years I did it, and some of my nieces, a lot of it was me. I just made me a blanket and I covered these. All time. So I just thought I would share that. But and this walk that I do, the walk and run, is the women's only 5K walk and run. It's in Greensboro, North Carolina, every first Saturday of October. But of course, I'm going to go. And you know, no better place for me to be. But normally I go and I participate, or either I walk, or if I can't walk, I stand on the sidelines, you know, or whatever, and cheer the other women on or whatever. But they do this for women that cannot afford to get screened.
That's
no matter
awesome.
how old you are,
That is
how
awesome.
young you are, if you have concerns, insurance is gonna be funny about it.
Come on.
You know, now you have, you know, that resource where you can go and get your mammogram and you don't have to worry about insurance paying for it, because that's what those funds go towards.
How do you identify the tissue breast at home?
All right, the dentist, okay, I'll tell you my experience. How I identified it is like, whenever I would come on my cycle, my breast would fill up with like fluid. And it started with me like that. And whenever I came on my cycle, oh my goodness, I couldn't even hardly wear a bra. And I didn't know what was going on. So I went to the doctor, and that's whenever they started. I used to have to get the needles. I call it the needle. But they had to put the needle in my breast and draw that stuff out. No, it wasn't fun. No, it wasn't.
Wow.
But in doing that, he told me that they were the fibrocystic cysts. I'm pretty sure
Listen,
Lisa, are you familiar with that, with, being in your field?
Well, not in my specialty, only through textbook.
Yeah, okay, but they're fibrous cysts is what they call them, and,
No, you're right.
okay, and then, that's where it starts. But if you, like, when you come on your cycle, it just be a whole big lump right there. And then
oh,
finally it would go down, it would be, like jelly-like, and I could press in on it, and I could feel the fluid, but it was very painful. So that, and this is back when my sisters was living. I didn't know what was going on.
right.
But then after, they would draw that, the fluid out,
Fluid out.
that would still be there.
Yeah.
And it had, the tissue was just, it was just dense, and I had really, really bad tissue in my breast, even while my sisters were going through what they were going to do. But that's what I remember about it. And of course, you can, look it up to help you with it. Because if you have some concerns, look it up, read it, and get familiar with it. And most definitely, if it's not what you're reading, don't ignore it.
Wow.
Still, just don't ignore it. What was you getting ready to say, Lisa?
Yeah, with the dense tissue, now what you're talking about is a whole separate issue.
Yeah.
The fibroblastic cyst and things like that, because that runs in my family. Anywhere there's lymph nodes, glandular tissues, anywhere on the body. But most African American women have
Suffers
dense
with them.
tissue. Even me, I don't have breasts, honey, but I have.
They small. No,
Okay. So is
I'm not,
there
that's how it was with me.
exam?
That's how it was with me.
But like you said, you have to know where your normal.
There you go. There you go.
So that's why I say know your tissue.
Right.
Know your.
Mm-hmm, right.
That's so important.
Feels like little bean bags.
Uh-huh.
Something like that is very abnormal. A lump or something that can
Move.
is
Mm-hmm.
very abnormal.
Yeah, but if it can't move, I was gonna bring, Rosie was gonna get me a little prop like thing where you guys could have, felt.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna purchase me one because
Yeah.
whenever I'm sharing my story, normally whenever I talk, I share my story. And trust me, when I share my story, women that have never did not even really touched other than taking a shower,
Right.
they fall. I mean, I'm serious. Really.
Yeah.
And have told me that.
Mm-hmm.
And they say, oh, I'm gonna start making sure I take care of my breast.
Right.
Please do.
Right.
And then I have had women to come up to me and tell me, guess what? I'm like, what is it? I got my first mammogram. And I just rejoice with it. Because that is important.
Yeah.
And then, of course, in between doing your breast exams. Very important.
Right.
Yeah. So, like Lisa said, that's why it's so important to know your breast. And all of us that are in here right now, know your breast.
Absolutely.
And especially the ages,
Mm-hmm.
not saying nobody old in here. But, we're not like in our teens.
Right.
Just know your,
Right.
it's to me, it's never too soon
Right.
to me to start.
Absolutely.
And teach your daughters.
Absolutely.
Talk to them.
Absolutely.
Let them know it's okay. You're
That's right.
taking care of yourself.
That's
You're starting early.
And I think that's the problem, that this country as a society is so sexually, oh my goodness,
Yeah.
everything is like a perversion.
That's right.
So when you say, feel around on your breast, if you said that to me at 12 years old, I'd be like, oh, that don't sound right,
Yeah.
you know? And I know my mother wouldn't have never told me that because she couldn't tell me what to do when my menstruation came on. So she sure wasn't telling me about no feeling around on my breast.
That's why we
So,
have to, just like we know our daughters are gonna come on their menstrual cycle.
you got to
That's
talk
not
to
gonna
them.
be ignored.
You have to talk to them.
Okay, because if you don't talk to them about it when it comes, that's right, when it comes,
Come on.
we don't talk to them about it, which we should not do that, we need to talk to
Right.
them about it. So
Right.
they don't know what's going on with their body, so they don't think they're dying
That-
like I did.
Thank you. Me too.
So,
Like, what is
I mean,
this?
just bluntly,
I don't like
you
it.
know. And
Yeah.
then along with that, I feel like mothers should increase, let's let that conversation go on over to, this is a real thing happening to you.
That's right.
This is
That's
happening
right.
to you, and then you, of course, are gonna start experiencing, growing breasts.
Mhm.
And or you not have already started, and just get them familiar with it. We practice, just like we're practicing now.
Maybe.
Don't
I
make
mean,
me feel like
we-
it's a taboo.
That's
Right.
right. That's right.
We don't
And
talk
when you
about it.
discuss it with them, you discuss it in a way that they understand that it is okay for them to do.
It's natural.
Right.
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 Right. Right.
And it's personal.
Thank you.
And you teach them.
I don't
They
have to be in
questions
there
for
with you.
mama. Then they'll
Right.
just come to mama, can you help me?
Help me.
But you teach them.
Right.
But you teach them with them doing it.
That's right.
So that they
That's
will
right.
feel, very comfortable or whatever, even with it being mama.
Absolutely.
Mama, you should mama.
No. Right. See, and that's where it can go when people don't.
So if I thought
Yeah.
it's okay for someone else, no,
No.
you don't do that.
Yeah.
So they'll understand that this is a process, this is part of taking care of yourself, just like what you do when you take care of yourself those 5 days, or
Right.
7 days, 6 days, whatever.
Right.
And that's why it's good that it goes along with that.
Right. Right.
So when you're done with this, then, I'm gonna teach you how every month to just include this in.
Include it in. And you, Maxine, I think it's important too because we're sisters, and that's a really, really close bond.
Yes.
And I was sharing with you how someone came and said, "Can you just come in my office and just feel?" And I felt so honored that she would, because you just don't.
That's right.
Even if you have to go to someone and say, just feel this and tell me what you think. What are you feeling?
Yes.
And it's
sometimes you may, even if you're married, your husband feels like, oh, what's that? Like, what happened?
right. What is that?
He panicked. What is that? Because he found it.
And good.
That's
That
right.
he did.
That's right.
Good.
But some women, they may not, I know I have my husband and yes, he knows my body, but I feel like I might need to get an opinion from a friend or sister, or something like that, like what happened with me and my sister.
There you go.
I found something, hey, what do
Can
you
you
think?
just,
Can you
what do
feel
you
it?
think?
Yeah, so that's fine, that's definitely, a good suggestion.
Mhm.
Because, two heads are better than one.
Absolutely.
And then they can say, oh, you need
Absolutely.
something that, oh, when I felt something in mine, and, it feels not like what mine was, and I went to the doctor, so I think that might be what it is, and then you don't feel comfortable, don't take that answer.
That's right. That's right. Go
You get
on.
on the phone with your doctor, and you go get yourself checked.
That's right.
Most definitely.
That's right.
But, I had said earlier about my niece, so, and I'm gonna stop and let you guys come up. But she called me and said, oh, I told him what you said, and they said, now I'm getting ready to go get my mammogram, and insurance is gonna pay for it. She said, because Aunt Beulah, I didn't want you to come to that. To my doctor, because I already know.
See what I'm saying? What's wrong with you, Doc? Because they take black women, they do anything with us.
Something's wrong, and
That makes me so mad.
breast cancer
I'm
history in her
telling you.
family or whatever, and that to me should have been enough.
That's right. Absolutely,
Don't
absolutely.
me.
Absolutely. No, we're paranoid.
I know what I've been through, and that's why it's so important
Right.
to share with women.
That's
Yeah.
good.
So just don't ignore. I
Good
don't care
stuff.
what you're doing. I'm not trying to punch you out. But if you're breastfeeding, sometimes, because I've met women, that they breastfeeding or whatever, and definitely know your breast whenever you're breastfeeding. Your breast goes through a lot. It's got the milk duds and stuff that develop and stuff like that.
That's right.
This lady, I work at Gilbert County Southern in the cafeteria, and the cafeteria manager, assistant manager, is getting ready to go for surgery on the 16th
Oh.
because she felt something and it was in her milk ducts.
Oh.
And she's an older lady. She's already done the breastfeeding.
Yeah.
And they did a biopsy, and the biopsy just wasn't good enough. Even though they, checked her and did everything else, they're gonna go in and just take that area out and check it or whatever.
Good.
And she was like, I'm just gonna go ahead and let them take the whole thing. I said, well, go ahead. You're talking to the wrong person.
I know, right?
I said, don't let them come off.
See?
Just a little humor. But yes, I just wanted to share all that with you guys. And like I said, I was gonna read all this stuff to you, but I'm looking at this stuff, and in my mind was telling you guys just to take care of yourself or whatever, because you are one of you. And
That's
that
right.
one
Come on.
in eight,
Come
this
on.
and that, whatever.
Come on now.
Say, oh, well, it's 1 in 8. Can I have a chance?
Uh-uh.
I'm not gonna be that good. No.
No. Come on.
Take
Come
care
on.
of yourself.
That's
Take
right.
care of yourself.
Absolutely.
So anyway, unless anyone else wants to share anything or have any questions or anything like that.
Just quickly, Maxie, just this to all of the ladies. Don't be afraid to fire your doctor if you need to.
Oh, yeah.
Because I've had to do that.
Thank
I've
you.
had to walk in the office and say, you're fired. I'm not coming back. Don't call me no more. Lose my number.
Yes.
Because what you're not going to do, I'm paying you for a service. And if you're not going to give me the service, I'm going somewhere else where people care for me. Don't be afraid to do that. And you do not have to take everything that they say. You don't. When I walked in my doctor's office, I sat down and I said, look, when I tell you something is wrong, you better pull out every test that you can think of to check, because I don't complain. I don't complain. So I don't want you to ever look at me and say, oh, yeah, well, that could be. I ain't going on a could be. So I need for you to be, to care enough about me. I need doctors' care. I don't just need a doctor. So be vigilant about that. And it's okay to fire them. Yeah.
I just turned 40, but I agree with Ravis. I had to fire my endocrinologist because they, compared to our counterparts, we do not get the same amount of care.
No, we don't.
It is not us.
No, we don't.
They give us a pill and send us out the door.
Thank you.
15 minutes and the
Thank you.
appointment is done.
Thank you.
I had my thyroid taken out, and of course you have to take levothyroxine. And it's the same situation. The biopsy were inconclusive, so they had to take it out to make sure that I didn't have thyroid cancer. But luckily I did not. They tested the tissue.
His father,
this was last year. But yeah, seriously, like it's a lot of things that go along in addition with having your thyroid taken out. That they didn't make me. I had to do my own research.
See,
Like
I was going to say,
see,
do your own research as well.
Right.
Mood changes.
And these are
There were
things they should
certain
have told you.
resources that she should have sent me.
Absolutely.
After post-surgery.
Absolutely.
I didn't know any of that.
Absolutely.
She didn't tell me about any of that.
Absolutely.
I had to do it all
See?
on my own. So
That kind of stuff.
I mean, I'm fairly, middle-aged, but seriously, do your own research and match it up against what your doctor is saying, because it's a whole world post-surgery, pre-surgery, and during. They do not tell us about them. They do not care.
Come on now. Don't care. And sometimes they ain't knowledgeable. Really, like they're supposed to be.
They're not. And what Catherine is saying and rabbits is absolutely true. I was going to a specialist GYN doctor. It's not about the breast, it was about fibroids that I didn't even know I had. And I suffered for many years. And I was going to a specialist that's supposed to be so excellent in Midtown Manhattan, and it was nothing.
See?
I came down here to North Carolina and the GYN, and I started, and one thing too, the scripture tells us to, trust God with our whole heart, lean not to thine own understanding, but in all thy ways acknowledge him. I started praying. I said, "Y'all, you lead me to the physician.
There
Like if I
you
have
go.
a group or whatever, I said, Father, y'all, you direct me." And I'm telling you, I have not been steered wrong. I mean, I'm not gonna say steered, but I trust in. And when I felt to go, I have nothing but good reports of even my family doctor. I don't care what doctor. I just went to an ophthalmologist.
Mm-hmm.
I prayed. I said, "Y'all, you direct me."
There you go.
You know what
There
I mean?
you go.
And so the GYN doctor that I went to with the five told me, I had enlarged. Actually, it wasn't even. It was my family doctor at the time, because the family doctors down here, will do Pap smear, And he's the one that told me I had an enlarged, uterus, and then other things. Come to find out, then I went to a GYN GYN doctor,
Yes,
surgeon, specialist, and that's when I found out. And then all the times I even had cysts on my ovary, like shooting pains, different things I didn't even know. But anyway, also, and I'm only going there because of doing your own research and things, because a lot of times with that, the first thing they recommend is hysterectomy. I mean, I'm not
Well,
people who get it. But I started doing my own research and different things and found out, and even as I talked to the doctor or the laparoscopy, in essence, but I had what was it, eye something, where they actually put, shoot, what you call is inside,
laser.
inside your,
Ablation?
Laser?
Laser surgery,
what's it
that's what I had.
It's not.
actually, no, they put, they go in and they shoot embroids inside your tube, in
Okay.
essence, in there to stop the blood flow,
Okay.
to cause them to shrink and for them to pass.
See, I didn't
So I
know
never
about
even
that.
had to do that, and that cured everything. And I had large ones, but they shrunk down where I was able to pass them through. I never even had to have a hysterectomy.
And see, that's something that I didn't even know about. They just did the hysterectomy on me.
And that's
And
the first
some of
thing.
mine, the big one was like the size of a large grapefruit.
Yes.
And then I had smaller ones the size
Yes.
of an egg
Yes.
in there. Because my
Yes.
doctor was
I had
like,
multiple
I don't
large
even know
ones.
how you walking around.
That's
And I've been in
exactly-
this pain for more than 17 years. I mean,
Most of mine
from when
done.
I think I first had my first menstrual.
Mm-hmm.
Just severe pain. And then just as I had children and got older, it just got worse. So these fallopian, these fibroid tumors were growing along, but nobody was catching this. Nobody's saying to us, baby, that kind of pain is not normal. You should be able to walk.
Yes.
Sometimes I couldn't even walk.
Couldn't.
And so the hysterectomy was the only option that they gave me.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and that was the option he told me, but I just started doing, I don't
Your
know,
own research.
I'm just doing research, and it was something, and then when I told him, and he did a whole article in the newspaper about it, like he just,
wow.
But anyway, yeah. So that's not even, and that's the first thing that they'll tell you. Most of us, women of color.
That's it. Hysterectomy. And they don't care how young you are.
And I had large one, multiple ones.
And I'm glad you all shared that. Because it could be women here that, didn't.
That's right.
And that also, definitely because of the fact that, like I said, I feel cycle was the best time to do, your, what is it now? You know, even with that cycle, if you're having some issues with the cycle and it just don't seem right, something just don't seem right, don't ignore it.
That's right.
Go and get checked. It could
That's
be
right.
something like the fibroids, or it could be something else. You know, it could be something else, but it's better to take care of yourself than to ignore it. You know, so if anybody else have any questions or want to share anything, if not, I have some information up here. You all are welcome to come by and gather, some information. I have some information about mammograms and, it's just your first time, what to expect. Also, they're 3D, the 3D mammogram. But that's a better, you know, more, advanced mammogram to show more, because it's that 3D. A lot of women are, you know, now insurance probably be funny about 3D mammogram. You know, they just want you to have it ready. But if it's any concern and your doctor is concerned, you know, anything that I was concerned about that he felt like my insurance wasn't gonna take care of it, he just did a, medically necessary for the insurance to go ahead and take care of it. Make sure you talk to your doctors and let them know. And I do want to say this one more thing, even though I don't have breast tissue, my doctor, he was concerned about little fatty tissue in my arm. And that's another thing, make sure you check under your arm too. Check under your arm, but he was concerned about little fatty tissue, and he sent me to a surgeon. And thank my way,
Hallelujah.
it was, just fatty tissue, but then my, OBGYN said he just wanted to keep his eye on it, you know, so.
Here you go.
All right.
It's uterine fibroid embolization. They
Oh.
call it UFE or something like that, but it's uterine fibroid embolization. It's embroids that they put, you go into surgery and it's the radiologist.
So see,
And I had it done at UNC Chapel Hill.
see, I didn't know. So I was 42.